So far, the UVA football season hasn't been going very well, but thankfully, Virginia basketball at John Paul Jones Arena is right around the corner. There's only a few weeks left before the start of the season, so let's break down the upcoming schedules for the men and women and tell you which games you'll want to watch. Starting off with the men, the Hoos will tip off the season on November 6th against Tarleton State University. The Cavaliers' second game on November 10th will be a part of the Hall of Fame series in Charlotte against the Florida Gators. Following these two games will be a series of mostly non-conference matchups. In the Fort Myers tip-off, UVA faces the Wisconsin Badgers and, still to be determined, SMU or West Virginia. After, the Hoos play a potentially tough game versus the Texas A&M Aggies. Saturday, December 2nd, the Cavaliers play their first conference matchup versus Syracuse. UVA will play a few more non-conference games, including a road trip to Memphis on December 19th, before their next conference matchup against Notre Dame on December 30th. Virginia then moves into ACC play for the rest of the season. The most notable matchups include Virginia Tech at UVA on January 17th, North Carolina at UVA on February 24th, and Virginia at Duke on March 2nd. Other notable matchups for the Hoos include a road game against NC State on January 6th, a road trip to Clemson on February 3rd, and a home game against the Miami Hurricanes on February 5th. The end of the regular season will then be followed by the ACC tournament. Overall, the Cavaliers have a favorable schedule in both non-conference play and in the ACC, and should be able to return to the NCAA tournament for the second season straight. Moving on to the UVA women's basketball team, the season opener for Coach Mox and the Hoos will be at home on November 8th against Maryland Eastern Shore. The Cavaliers also play non-conference games for the first half of their season. The most notable games include William & Mary at UVA on November 15th, the Cayman Island Classic matchups in which UVA will face Tulane on November 24th, and the defending national champion LSU Tigers on November 25th. Virginia also gets the Missouri Tigers at home on November 30th in the ACC/SEC Challenge. In conference play, UVA's first ACC game is on December 31st against NC State. The rest of the season will be tough for the Cavaliers as they will face many ranked teams. On January 7th, the Duke Blue Devils travel to play UVA at JPJ. Other notable matchups include a road trip to North Carolina on January 14th, a home game against Notre Dame on January 18th, and a road test at Florida State on January 21st. Finally, UVA plays at Virginia Tech on February 1st, but will take on the Hokies in Charlottesville again for their last regular season game on March 3rd. This final game against the Hokies will be followed by the ACC tournament and hopefully a return to the NCAA tournament for the Hoos for the first time since 2018. As November winds closer, Charlottesville is excitedly anticipating the return of UVA basketball. Make sure to tune into the season openers on November 6th and 8th to cheer on the Hoos. I'm Jordan Stallard, WUVA.